Peace, peace, and peace. Narcissistic abuse does not always cause permanent brain damage, but chronic emotional abuse can create trauma related brain changes that affect memory, clarity, emotional control, decision making, and self trust. How it affects the brain? Number one, the amygdala. The alarm system becomes overactive. See, the amygdala scans for danger. Constant criticism, gaslighting, silent treatment, threats, betrayal, and unpredictable affection can train the brain to stay on alert. Trauma research links PTSD with heightened amygdala threat activity. Here's an example. A survivor reads one cold text and sees the narcissist online or out and about, and their body reacts like danger is happening right now. Number two, the hippocampus. Memory and reality checking get disrupted. The hippocampus helps organize memory and context, like what happened, when did it happen, is this danger current or past? Chronic toxic stress can weaken this system, making memories feel foggy, scattered, or emotionally loaded. Here's an example. The empath remembers the pain, but then one quote unquote good memory makes them question everything. They say to themselves, was it really that bad? It's not a good thing. Number three, prefrontal cortex. Decision making gets compromised. The prefrontal cortex helps with reasoning, impulse control, planning, boundaries, and long term thinking. PTSD research shows impaired prefrontal control while threat systems become more reactive. Here's an example of that. The empath knows they should not text back, but their nervous system screams for relief, for closure, or reassurance. Narcissistic abuse also creates confusion. Absolutely. Gaslighting is one of the biggest causes. The National Domestic Violence Hotline defines gaslighting as emotional abuse that makes a victim question their feelings, their instincts, their sanity, and their own reality. The confusion, it comes from repeated contradictions, like, you're my soulmate, but then you're too sensitive. Or things like, I never said that, but then you made me act that way. Or they'll say things like, I love you. But then punishment, silence, cheating, or blame follow. That creates cognitive dissonance. The mind is trying to hold two opposing truths at one time. Truth number one, they hurt me. But then truth number two, which contradicts it, but they also made me feel loved. That conflict can make survivors freeze, overthink, excuse behavior, or keep searching for the quote unquote good version of that person, the narcissist. Here's some specialist backed insight. You know, I always follow these up with resources and references, I should say. Dr. Bessel van der Kolk, his trauma work emphasizes that trauma is not just a memory, it lives in the body and your nervous system. It's wild, right? Mm-hmm. Dr. Judith Herman describes trauma as damaging safety, trust, power, control, and connections. Dr. Ramani Devasala often explains narcissistic abuse as a pattern of invalidation, manipulation, and intermittent reinforcement that keeps survivors psychologically hooked. Hmm? Here's how it damages decision making. Narcissistic abuse can train the survivor to second guess their own judgment, seek permission before making choices, fear consequences. Listen to that. Fear consequences for setting boundaries. They confuse anxiety with love. They choose short-term relief over long-term peace. They feel addicted to reconciliation even after punishment. And they mistake guilt for responsibility. That's a big one right there. This is why many survivors may say, I know better, but I still feel stuck. I keep going back even though I know the truth. I don't even trust myself anymore. This is not weakness, folks. That is a stressed brain trying to survive. Here's some action healing steps, though. Number 1, go no contact or low contact when possible. All right? The brain cannot calm down while the source of confusion keeps re-entering. Okay? Number 2, write the truth down. Write down the truth. That's what journaling is very important. All right? You want to create what's called a reality list. You want to write what happened, what they said, how it affected you, and what pattern kept repeating. Okay? Number 3, use body regulation before decision making. Before texting, calling, reacting, or deciding, breathe slowly. Walk, pray, stretch, or even use other grounding mechanisms. A regulated body makes clear choices. Number 4, delay emotional decisions. Use a 24-hour rule. I do not make relationship decisions while triggered. Remember that. All right? Number 5, rebuild self-trust with small promises. Here's an example. Today, I will not check their page. Keep that promise to yourself, okay? Small wins rebuild the prefrontal cortex's confidence, okay? Number 6, work with trauma-informed support. Helpful options include EMDR, trauma-focused CBT, somatic therapy, support groups, coaching, and education. SAMHSA describes trauma-informed care as recognizing and responding to the lasting effects of trauma. Okay? And number 7, replace confusion with pattern recognition. Pay attention to the patterns, all right? Stop asking yourself, did they love me? Start asking yourself, was the pattern safe, consistent, respectful, and honest? Here's the bottom line, folks. Narcissistic abuse can injure the way the brain processes safety, memory, emotion, and decisions. But the brain can heal, all right? Neuroplasticity means new patterns can be built through safety, distance, truth, regulation, support, and repeated self-respecting choices. I hope this helps someone today. And I hope you all have an amazing rest of your day, all right? Peace.